back to Education 3000. I am Noemi Paimal. I am an anthropologist. I'm French, and I am the founder of Education 3000.
Hi Naomi, how are you?
Hello, Dave. Good? All good?
Nice. Hi everybody, I'm David. I'm Australian. I am
Yes,
the
yes. That's why you
I'm the
don't have a British accent. You don't have a US accent. You have a special accent.
I have that's been slightly modified by living in Bolivia for the last 6 years as well. But anyway, I'm the International English Program Coordinator at Education 3000. So we're going to keep looking at fun pedagogical tools to put into practice what we've been looking at. Naomi, what are we going to focus on in this video?
Yeah, more tools, definitely. Actually, many people ask now, how can I put in practice? Do we have tips? And we do. So we go on, and remember the tools. Everything has to be fun, has to be enjoyable, has to be practical and creative and movement. Remember last time we saw bio-intelligent pedagogical tools. It's called bio-intelligent because it works by itself. It doesn't require of fancy training or fancy material. You can do it anywhere. And it's fun. And this one, I don't know if the mothers are going to like it, but it's about mud and clay and play
So
with earth.
what are the benefits of playing in the mud? I mean, it looks like fun, and I did it when I was a kid, but maybe you can give us a bit more of a scientific or
It's good because it's both therapeutic or therapeutical,
therapeutic.
uh-huh, and pedagogical. And it's one of those few tools where you are allowed to touch earth and connect with earth. It's very healthy. It's called to anchor. Remember, we saw that with the brain. We have to anchor all this energy or to ground it. And this is, it works so well. And you feel so good. And you learn art and you learn connection with earth. And sometimes because it's forbidden, especially the last one, this one is even more fun.
It is a lot of fun. I remember actually as a teenager, I wasn't even a child, but my friend and I, we used to go to this abandoned quarry. We weren't meant to be there, but we used to have so much fun jumping in the water, rolling in the mud. I
Yeah,
remember my mum was a little bit upset because
I
like when I
guess.
got home, the bathroom was so dirty, but she's a lovely woman and she was right, but it was a lot of fun as well.
Please understand your children and grandchildren. It's very good for them. It gives you a good skin, and it's good not to be afraid of earth. You know, I know some people and young people, they can't even touch earth or soil. They can't touch Mother Earth. So this is not so good. We need all that and understand this is part of us. We are dust, and we will go back to dust. It's very profound. I love this one. Yoga for children, martial arts. And here we have Capoeira, which is from Brazil, and it's a very multicultural sport or dance, very complete. And we need all of that. If you don't like yoga because it's slow or boring, you have acro yoga, duplex yoga. You have some yoga, different yogas, and it's aerial yoga. You know what's aerial yoga?
I'm
You,
guessing it's in the air.
Yeah, you have some slings. I will get some pictures for you. And you have this big, huge of piece of fabrics, tela, and you do all the pose of yoga and backwards, so your head is down. That is so much fun, and it's very good for the synapses.
So I assume you've done it, Naomi. It sounds like you've
Yeah, I
done it
did,
and
I
had a
did,
great
I did.
time.
When I see you, I will show you. It's very easy to set up and to do. Yes, yes,
Perfect.
yes. When you have trainings, we always do that, especially with the head down, because it's very good to oxygenate the brain and to wake up or to, let's say, activate the pineal gland. I mean, there is some good benefits. Water. Did you know that water can read messages?
Well, Naomi, before we started recording this, you were telling me a very interesting piece of information about this author Emoto and how he looked at positive and negative vibrations or messages that water can perceive, right?
Yeah, please check all the works and videos of Masaru Emoto. Is from Japan. I visited him, and now he passed away, but I know him. And it's amazing his work, because he put, for instance, he will put some water and put a nice music to the water, like something beautiful. Then he will crystallize or freeze, sorry, the water, and he will study with a microscope the beautiful shapes, because the water capture the music. It's called cinematic as well. So it's harder to see in a classroom, because we don't have the microscope and all the we need the fridge and all that, but you can do it with rice, meaning that's a very good experiment, and it's written on our first book, P3000, or Pedagogy 3000. You take cooked rice, 2 jar of cooked rice. It's better if it is transparent jar. And then to 1 jar, you say nice things. I love you. You're beautiful rice. You are beautiful. Only nice and positive things. And on the other jar, everything negative. And of course, you tell the children this is not to do on your fellows, peers, and friends, just on the jar. Be very specific, please. And you say you are stupid, blah 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 blah. And you know what happened? And you do that during 10 days. Guess what happened? And it's true. It's a true experiment. And please do it. The jar is a nice, positive words and feelings. Smells good. It's not even rotten, like bad smell. It looks nice, and the smell is delicious. And the other jar is kind of black and smells ugly, ugly, very bad. So this is a proof there is a reaction, even though we can't really explain, to words and to feelings. And you can see in the rice, but it's the same in the water. And remember, we are made of water, so we can react to good words, positive words, and bad words. So this makes the kids extremely aware of the importance of what you say and feel and say and think even. Interesting.
Very interesting. Very important to be careful with what you say, even what you think as well. And
Yes.
obviously, the experiment with the rice, cooked rice, because that has water
Cooked,
in it.
please. Cooked rice. And then anything with water, and you can go to rivers and talk to the water. It sounds strange, but the children, they have such a relationship with nature and water and even animals and plants. And talking about nature, a lot of activities with ecology, reforest, plant, and do something for your community. Like every grade, plant at least 1 tree per children and per year and per grade, like a minimum. And do some community service, helping the neighborhood, recycle and all that. It will be more like ecological tool, but I put it in the biointelligent tools because it works very, very well. This guy is Felix. He's from Germany. He made a huge campaign to plant trees, and he had many children around the world planting millions of trees. And now he's 16. He's a genius. Like Felix and Plant for the Planet. He's one of my heroes. Yeah, I'm a fan of Felix. And I know some people who took kids who took classes with Felix, and they know how to plant trees. They know how to visit the mayor and to get the seedles. I mean, the little plant, and they teach
Seedlings.
them all that seedlings. So we can learn from this kid definitely.
And so
Beautiful.
again,
Try to plant for the planet.
children doing what maybe adults, what governments, authorities should be doing. You know, I mean,
Yes, and they do it.
very switched on.
Mm-hmm. More techniques like relax, massage of the feet, digi pointer, to know all those points. If you are not allowed by law to touch the other person, you can do self massage or self digi pointer. Go outside and listen to nature, or do some meditation listening to nature, to the birds. And here you can see the circle. So they do a relaxation circle, breathing circle, and sometimes listening circle too when they talk. There is different types of circle you can do. Very important. Every day. Actually, it will be good. Every day. I know a teacher in Bolivia, and it was secondary school, high school, and she's a math teacher. Can you imagine? Each class, they were asking the young people, and they were kind of old, to do self massage to the feet, each feet. I mean, one foot, the other foot, and then they were doing the math exercise. So, I mean, faster, and they were more like agile, like more. It was
More
easier
agile?
to. Huh?
And that was correct. More agile. It's the right word.
Agile. And then when she was forgetting the exercise, they would say, teacher, don't forget the feet. We have to do the massage. And they had to take off their shoes and all that, and they were not shy. Amazingly enough, they loved it. So sometimes a little tool can change everything. So, yeah, just try it. Pets, they need pets. They need, I mean, they love the cats, and be with animals for them is beautiful. So when you can, allow them to be in contact with animals as well as plants. It's true. And they have such a connection with animals. This one is all the weaving
Weaving and cooking, right?
and cooking, boys and girls. It's very, very important. These biointelligent tools, you learn everything. Like cooking, you learn math and chemic and physics, culture, love, social skill, measures, fractions, everything.
I'm so happy and so grateful my parents taught me to cook when I was young. It's definitely.
How old were you?
I was a little bit older than the children in the picture. I think maybe 15 or 16, but I'm so grateful. It's one of the best things that they
And
taught
it's
me.
hard. You can do mandala with your salad, mandala with your pizza. You learn good nutrition. It's very important.
Yeah, and also like teamwork as well. Think about when you cook with other people, like you can't just say like do this, like you're trying to do one thing but also incorporate the other person or the other people in a nice way so that it's fun for them to cook with you, but also so that it the meal turns out well. So it's, yeah, I think lots of good things. Organization, you have to do the shopping maybe weekly, so you think about what you want, like you said, culturally. So when you travel and live in different places, perhaps when you're older, it's such a great way to connect as well. It's a fantastic skill.
They were doing by Zoom last year because of the situation. By Zoom, they had cooking classes in English, and I'm talking about Spanish-speaking countries. And they had so much fun, and they were looking. I mean, they were learning recipes from all around the world. So it's a nice way to learn a language and a culture too. Can you imagine to cook Japanese in English and you live in Colombia? Yeah, all that they did, and it was so much fun. They want to do it again this year. The five senses.
So we've got touch, hearing, eyesight, taste, smell. Why is there a question mark there on that young girl with the pink mittens and pink scarf?
The sixth sense, which is intuition. And we have to develop that as well. And there is a bunch of tools.
And if we look at some of the pictures... sorry, Naomi.
Yeah, go ahead.
If we look at the pictures in the second picture...
This picture we will see more in... it's a bio-reconnecting tool and biomorphic tools. This girl is not blind. She can see. But we cover this method is from Noespero from Mexico. So you cover the eyes very well. She can't see under, nothing. And she can see at, it's like remote seeing, or seeing with your skin, with the hand. She will put the hand on the picture and say what it is. So it's called extraocular vision. So I was giving her some cards, and I thought she was looking under, because sometimes they can cheat and look under if it is not, you don't put the blindfold properly. So I decided to put the card in the back just to check. And she said, now, Kala, what do you have in your back? She said, the couch. I said, look better, look a little bit harder. And she said, it's a cow. And this picture here was a cow. So that's the proof she was seeing without the normal eyes, but she was seeing with the extraocular vision. And all kids, according to the Noespero, all kids from 6 years old to 10 years old have this capacity. And it gives you more. I mean, I will talk a little bit more after that, but it gives you more capacities. It will make it broader, it will amplify your capacities, even cognitive capacities, ethic capacities, empathy, intuition. It's great. Meta languages. Meta languages is about geometry, symbols, anything with no words, and even dance here. And this is a Fibonacci. So it has to do with all techniques. It doesn't use a geometry is part of it. And here we have any activities at night and camp. Walking, trekking. These guys, they walked 1 week and it's very good, very healthy. Take them out of the classroom. Do activities at night. The 5 elements like fire, earth, water, wind, ether. They have to be familiar with that. Archeology, but outside. The museum sometimes are too dusty, I would say. And enjoy your culture and ancient and remote civilization. And this is a little resume. So I will just give you the resume and finish here. The resume here is get out of the linear things, like to have more circles and volumes, go from 2D to 3D. Be very careful with the sound, like don't like the bell and all the shouting, all the sound we don't want. Have pleasant, enveloping, harmonious sound, like it sounds all around you, and use silence time or silent time. Avoid to be immobile or still, and use movement and project. Avoid black and white colors, but beautiful colors and vibrant colors. Sunlight as well. And avoid one-way teaching. I'm just teaching you like one way. For self-learning and teamwork and be in circle and do activities together. And discover what you want to learn. This will be a little summary of the tips. Pedagogical tools. It's a word. What's the meaning of biomorphic? Huh?
Well, these were biomorphic was one of the later steps or sort of tools that we were looking at, which is a little bit more advanced. Our friend Dr. Shishida, who you've met, Naomi, said more than children reasoning as Homo sapiens, they are children whose sensitivity is so acute that they can perceive feelings, what one thinks, what you are going to ask, the atmosphere of a place, the past and the future. Also, they can perceive what is happening at a physical, affective, mental, and astral level, as well as being able to simultaneously work on all these levels. So that's why we said it's a little bit more advanced, right?
Yes. And that was the studies of Dr. Shishida. And mind you, many children, when we were doing the stats and the studies, are effectively like that. So I think Dr. Shishida could foresee all those capacities of the children and have the education according to that. He did that for 40 years. And this is not, for instance, deficit of attention. At the same time, they can perceive, for instance, physical, affective, mental abilities to see everything at the same time. So, for instance, have you seen children? They look at you and they scan you. They see your body, they see your emotion, they see many things in you. And I have a friend in Ecuador. He said, when he was 20 years old. He said, when I see a person, I can see everything of this person, and it's almost annoying. And I have to learn how to deal with this talent. So definitely, this opened a new area in education. That's why we decided to do biomorphic. Biomorphic tools comes from biomorphic fields from Rupert Sheldrake. We talk a little bit about that in the collective intelligence. Remember, it was a multiple intelligence. And we can incorporate that into education, definitely. And here is actually here is Noespero, and this is the classes with extra sensory perception, and in that case it will be the extraocular vision. And above, no, below, sorry, this is a game. You know, when you have to do pair with cards, you have to pair up, but in that case you don't pair up like at random. You feel the card. It's like a DG sensor or DG lecturer, DG reading or skin reading, and you can by intuition and real intuition find the two cards, you flip them over and they are the same. This is advanced as well.
And type of scanning, right?
Tool. Huh?
A type of
scanning. Like the sensor you have in your hands. It's fun, but you have to do this exercise kind of short because it can it's tiring. And you can use symbols and archetypes. It's called all the human species as a collective memory, and it's plasmar. It's embodied into symbols and archetypes. For instance, here you have the Maya symbol, Flor de la Vida, flower of life, the Dharma wheel symbol, the Celtic symbol, dragon.
So an archetype is a term...
And the kids and the young people, they love it. See, Dave?
So a term used to describe universal symbols for those people who maybe don't know archetypes. Naomi, maybe you could explain one of the symbols or archetypes that we've got there in the images.
Now, let's say the Maya one. That would be the whole universe up to the center of the universe. And then you can decode all that and take classes and classes. So it will embody a huge amount of knowledge and wisdom, and in that case, math as well and calendar in one drawing. This one is called as well meta languages. And this is why symbols and archetypes should be inside the curricula. And we go straight in that case to bioreconnecting pedagogical tools. That's all tools to know oneself. And the human being, we have to know who we are. Socrates, know thyself. It's not new. You can use any kind of tools with nature, silence, breathing. This was a real school. I took this picture in Chile, and this boy was so tuned with everything. He was really connected, first with the heart and then with everything outside. And it's called self-science.
So yes, self-knowledge, self-science. We're looking at active philosophy, cosmogenesis, universal geometry, breathing exercises, mandalas, and mindfulness.
Mindfulness is cool because it's a set. I mean, you have all the classes, and there is you have entire sets of activities and exercise to do. I would definitely recommend it among other tools. This corresponds to the violet petal. When we will see the violet petal, I will put more tools and example in the proposal of the 7-petal school. And a lot of tools with about peace culture.
So transforming schools into peace embassies. What do you mean by that, Naomi?
Change the culture, reverse the culture of violence and bullying, to now this is a culture of peace, of empathy. I'm listening to you, I respect you, and I respect myself because I feel good inside. Usually bullying is the end result of not feeling good inside, of or pressure or stress or violence from the outside world, meaning the society, the family, the school system. So we have to revert that. So we made a book. It's called Peace Embassy, School in the School, with a lot of exercise and a test of 100 ideas. You can unload that. It's in English from our website. And transform your school, your home, your neighborhood, your town, your municipality into peace embassies. And peace is visible. So there is a lot of activities when you have the flag, peace flag, you have peace mural, peace words everywhere. So now it's visible. Here, it's peace. So if you have a temper or you don't feel good, you just remember all the time, no, here is peace. And then I have to be and act according to this new culture and be part of it and be an ambassador of peace myself. And then the neighborhood and then the store around and then the parents, and then everybody will, will go into the loop of the peace culture, and you have a great impact locally wherever you are. The school has an impact or create an impact everywhere around. This is important. So the school is a new lighthouse, you see. It's a new place where everything starts and you can spread the new paradigms. And the kids and young people, they love it and they understand right away. So we will do one more video only on this, I promise. Level 2.
Perfect.
Babies,
Tools for babies.
please. Babies
So,
are extremely important. I mean, education starts from the womb, actually from the conception and preconception, but babies. So I do recommend this book. It's called Continuum with two U from Jean Liedloff. Because she was an anthropologist like me, and she studied the way babies were raised in very remote community and ethnic group, in that case in the Amazon groups in the Amazon. And she saw the baby never cried. I mean, never cried. A baby in this kind of communities and never cry. And I saw it myself because I was working in the Amazon as well, the Amazon part of Ecuador. And she was studying how do they do that? And then she made the book and she gives you all the tips. Basically, skin contact, and always give security, physical security and emotional security to the babies, which is not malcriar, spoil.
Yeah, no, it's not spoiling them.
It's not spoiling. On the contrary, it gives more security, and then the kids and the young people are more stable. And it's a must in education to learn all those tips, these tips. And it's beautiful. So yeah, we have to consider babies in our education and elders. That's other tips as well. The cone of learning. Do you want to talk about that? That we will close with this. Close.
So yeah, we tend to remember based on our level of involvement, and obviously as well as a teacher, this I can see this. Like students might remember 10% of what they read, or people in general. But if we look down at the bottom, 90% of what we both say and do, like doing a dramatic presentation, simulating the real experience, doing the real thing. So we can see that doing, receiving, and participating, we retain a lot more of the information as opposed to simply receiving.
Exactly. That's why we have to reverse completely the education system, because 10% remember 10% of what we read. This is very low, and 20% of what we hear, which is at least 80% of education still nowadays. So now we have to do better, because this is the worst tools we were using actually. And go
so
back
the teacher
to
just talking, okay, you've remembered maybe 20%. That's not very effective.
No, I would say it's even losing your time. Sorry. I'm not talking for hours, Dave. Oh my God. And the last one, there is one more. This cone is from Edgar Dale. It's very known from the teachers, but we put one more. We remember 100% of what we learned by
teaching. So why is this so important, Naomi? I think you've got a good example as
new
well.
pedagogy, yeah, self-taught. Or you learn yourself, or you teach children teach to other children. They explain math or whatever. Or young people, they teach to more younger people or students. So they teach among themselves. And it works very well, and they learn extremely fast. So the one who teach is happy because he can see he masters the subject and is recognized by everybody. And even as a teacher, you don't have to give exam, because if somebody can teach, that's it. He masters the topic. And then for the other kid, they feel good because they explain in their words, so they understand very fast. Actually, I saw a kid explaining division to the other kid. You put here and you put the number here. I didn't understand anything. It was much faster than the way I was taught how to divide numbers. So that's a new way of let them teaching, explore, do their research, and then teach to everybody, do exposition, do all that. And the same, I think maybe you're going to think I'm repeating myself.
No, it's true. We always, sometimes, we just need to remember lots of love. It helps solve problems.
Yeah.
It helps to learn. It helps everything. I think
if you
often
don't know
you
what
can't
to
go
do,
wrong.
yeah. Love your children, your babies, your family. That's the best gift. And it will, this is Shishida again.
If you love your child, you're already teaching them.
That's it. As simple as that. And Shishida wrote 28 books on pedagogy. At the end, he said that. At the end of the story, if you love your child, you are already teaching them. And all those tools, or these tools, we can have them in the 7 Petal School, of course, that are going to be soon our next video.
Yeah, we're gonna be really looking in depth at the 7 petal schools, each of the petals, which I think the people who have been watching the videos have a bit of a feel for them. If it's the first time you've watched a video as well, we're gonna be looking at them in depth, really clear. If you want to check out a lot of our other videos and resources, you can go to our YouTube account, our website, Facebook and Gmail as well. You can get in contact with us there. All of these are below in the description for you to click on or copy and paste. You don't need to write this down in a notebook, but a lot of great resources, 20 years worth of resources. So that was video 11. Naomi, we're getting close to the halfway point of our level 1 series, co-recreating education, here at Education 3000, or P3000 as we're also known. What are we going to look at in video number 12 in our next video?
12, we will see more tools, and it's called triad. Pedagogical triad. 3 basic concepts we have to include in all learning process. And then, yes, we go definitely to the 7 Petal School after that. So we are covering a lot. Thank you to be together. And the best way is to practice, to do one tool, another tool, to enter it, to better it, and have fun.
Thanks, Naomi, again for a wonderful video. And thanks, everybody, for tuning in at home. Hopefully, these pedagogical tools are useful and practical and easy to understand. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye, Naomi. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Dave. Thank you. Take care.